Good evening. Welcome to Epiphany Lutheran Church in Richmond, Virginia. I'm Kevin Barger, the Director of Music Ministry. This is our Music Minute, a chance for us to look at our hymns for tomorrow that we'll be using in worship. Tomorrow is August 1st. It is the 8th Sunday after Pentecost, and we're in the middle of all these bread stories that we've been hearing in the gospel. So it's only fitting that we would start with I Am the Bread of Life. That'll be our hymn of the day tomorrow. And this tune and text actually has an interesting background. It was written in 1966 by none other than a high school teacher. And this teacher's classroom was right next to the infirmary in the school where she taught. So this blonde-haired freshman, as she describes her, had been in the infirmary, not feeling well, and she came out of the infirmary and came to this woman's classroom and said, "What was that singing going on while I was in the infirmary? It was beautiful." Well, it was this hymn that we're going to hear and sing tomorrow. And the teacher thought it was so bad, she had torn it up and thrown it in the trash can. So after the freshman left, she went to the trash can, she pulled it back out, and it has become the hymn that we sing now. And so this did pose some issues, still does pose some issues for assembly song. It is every stanza has a different rhythm. And so it's not the easiest to follow. And typically we do very well on the refrain because that's something that we know and love and we can soar to the high notes. And we back off a little bit on the verses. So sin boldly tomorrow and sing where you think they should go. This is always a fun piece. I Am the Bread of Life. Okay, we will then move to a newer hymn, although it's not new, really. This is called Welcome Table. It comes to us from our new hymnal, All Creation Sings. That's the purple hymnal that we have here in the sanctuary. And if you were in in-person worship last week, you got to hold it in your hands as we sang When the Saints Go Marching In from that book. So we will sing Welcome Table from this tomorrow. And clearly this hymn is about the feast at the Lord's table, but it's not just about that. It's not the sacramental table only. It talks about the eternal banquet at the end of time as well. The wedding banquet seen in Matthew 22 shows a vision of the reign of God where no one is turned away. The song comes from those who were enslaved, so for them, its meaning was deep in freedom and escape. We do long for that time when some of these days all will be welcome to both tables we sing about here. So this is Welcome Table. All right, so that's a fun one that you can almost want to clap along and just have a good time. Son of God, Eternal Savior is our final sending hymn tomorrow. The hymn was written in 1893, and it's about a community in the sense of living for others. This is a Dutch folk melody, and it was adapted into a hymn tune that you hear and you love. I'm sure you know this. It's set to many other texts that we have sung. And it was written in the style of the Romantic period. For those history buffs above you, you can go research what the Romantic period would bring to us, but you'll hear some of that in this as well. We're going to go to the organ for this. This is a triptych on In Babyloni, and it's, the first one's sort of a trumpet tune kind of a thing. The second one is a dance, a scherzo, and then the last one is just big, bombastic, and fast. So we'll hope you enjoy this. Son of God, Eternal Savior. That'll get you up and moving out of your seat for sure, or at least me off the organ bench with my feet having to move all over the place. So hopefully you enjoyed that this evening, and if you're coming tomorrow to join us in person, that will be at 8:30 and 10:30 in the sanctuary. If you're coming online, that's at 10:30 on YouTube, and if you go to Facebook, it'll still be there this week. Starting the following week, we will be putting a link from Facebook to YouTube so that we can get rid of the problems that we've been having with the video feeds that are going on Facebook. So you can still go to Facebook and it'll direct you over to YouTube directly. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll talk again next week.